Hey guys, Bitcoin holding above $52,000. PPI data coming in hot today. Some Cardano news. We got a very special guest, Crypto Millie in the house. All that and a whole lot more right here today on Piper Academy. Classes in session. Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Piper Academy. This is the show where we bring you the news, the markets, and the charts, giving you everything you need to have knowledge because knowledge is profit. Guys, welcome. It's Friday. We're ready to do this up. We got our special guest in here today. We got the alumni in the house. Always loving alumni, that. You know what and I mean? We got, Crypto Millie joining us today. All throwback. We go back like Bitcoin bottoms. I'm just saying, back in the Jim Hunter's days. And so we're going to be all coming together here talking about some stuff. But we got PPI data came in hot today. And that is going to be what's making the Dixie pump. We're going to be taking a look at the chart to figure out how far down can we be looking at the markets going, or is it going to pump again? Let's get that going there in there first. But without any further ado, guys, let's bring up my co-host and my special guest in one fell swoop. Let's get it going. What's up, folks?
What's good? What's good?
What is going on, guys?
It's a party. We got a quad party going over here on Friday. So, Crypto Millie, man, welcome to the show. How you doing?
I'm feeling good, man. It's Freaky Friday, fast running, independent day, and aggressive yuppie day. Let's get it. Appreciate you, Piper, man.
I love it. I love the energy, man. Bringing it in. OC, what's up, brother? How you doing today, man?
Not much. Doing fantastic this time on time for the show and no flickering camera. So doing much better.
Yeah, we got your camera working. That's good. That's a good thing. And TradeFly, we see you over there. We see you over there in your coyote brown tan shirt. All ready for work.
Let's go.
But first, you got another job. You got to entertain the people and bring your presence, bring your face over here. That I'm telling you, hey, Millie, check this out. We got like 23% female viewers on my channel for a crypto channel. I think it's all because of TradeFly. I'm just saying. Just saying. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to all of our Magna Cum Laude and our Summa Cum Laude that are in here today. We always appreciate you. And as always, you guys will be presented in the outro. You're in the credits. If you guys want to join our membership, where you get all the trade setups and, one-on-one time with me and the team here. And then, of course, special shout outs. Check it out below. We appreciate it. But let's get into the news. Millie, you got anything that you seen in the news lately that you want to talk about today? I know TradeFly does. Before I jump into the news, anything that you're seeing you're like, this is pretty interesting.
Well, to piggyback on what you said earlier, man, the PPI came in hot. So I'm interested to see how the market, the stock market, and of course the crypto market reacts to that. I think that we have a lot of momentum based on what we're seeing from the spot ETF. So, it's hard to say if this is going to, throw a little kink in our armor, but for the most part, I think that we stay bullish and we keep that momentum.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah, let's jump over there. Let's take a look at the news, guys. We're going to be looking today at the crypto bubbles, of course, because we got to get into the crypto bubbles. But as you guys know, this is your daily news update brought to you by decrypted.tax. News is news, but the bad news was when the IRS knocks on your door about you not doing your taxes right. If you're in crypto and you want a trusted source to do tax attorney, tax accountant stuff, go check out Ernest at decrypted.tax. He's the host of today's daily news update. Let's get it. So taking a look at the crypto bubbles here, guys, we do have Bitcoin coming in right now, down on the day about 0.9%, Ethereum down about 0.9% also. But we are seeing things like BNBs moving. XRP is still up 2.4 for today, despite that 0.8% downside in the past hour. Bitcoin Cash doing pretty decent. There's some movers despite the PPI data, but overall, even the greens on the dailies in the past hour, seeing that pullback right now. That's what we're going to be looking at on the charts today. Looking at the total liquidations, guys, in the past 24 hours. Let's get that zoomed in there. Past 24 hours, 57,000 traders were liquidated. The total liquidations coming in at $137.5 million. The largest single liquidation order happened on OKX. It was Bitcoin. It was $1.92 million. The economic calendar, the one that everyone wants to talk about right now because it's what's wrecking everything. This is going to be your PPI data. The PPI month over month came in this morning And it was last month down 0.1%. Very bullish, right? Consensus that it might be up about 0.1%. Forecast about 0.1%. That's what everyone was saying. No, try 0.3%. You overshot that big time. That is very bad because this is the producer price index. So this is manufacturers, how much the goods are costing for them to produce and manufacture. Those goods are now going to cost more, which means inflation, right? This is why we're getting this numbers play today on the Dixie, and we're getting these pullbacks off of a lot of these assets right now, guys. The core PPI, which does not include food and energy, came in. This one's the bad one. 0.1% was what we were looking at. Came in 0.5% higher. This has completely wiped out any chance of a Fed rate cut in March, which I already said probably wasn't going to happen anyways. But now it's completely off the table. Rate hikes not likely. Higher for longer, as Jerome Powell has said. So that's what we have there. If we take a look over here and see what old Kabisi letter has said here in our bookmarks. He talked about that PPI this morning, and he says that breaking January PPI inflation hits 0.9% total, above the expectation of it being at a 0.6 total. That core PPI inflation jumping to 2% above the expected at 1.6% total. So both CPI and PPI inflation now have come in above expectation for the month of January. Disinflation seems to be slowing down. Inflation is rearing its ugly head, and that means that the Fed really is not going to be able to do any rate cuts anytime soon. Jumping over here to a little Cardano news for our ADA gang out there. Cardano, they are eyeing remarkable 1,233% surge if this scenario validates. Taking a look at this article. In the tweet, Ali, a cryptocurrency analyst, offers a bullish proposition for the price of Cardano ADA, the 8th largest cryptocurrency by market value here. And Ali believes that Cardano's breakout from its consolidation range may come earlier than expected. Ali's analysis suggests that ADA has the potential to rally by 1,233% if it validates a certain breakout scenario. And in that scenario, what he's talking about there, he is looking here. Let's go ahead and jump into this and take a look a little bit closer here. This Cardano breakout may come earlier than expected. Still, if history repeats itself, we are anticipating ADA to return to a rise to 80 cents, retrace to 60, and then enter a bull run towards $8 based on its historical pullbacks and what it has done in the past. And so if you look at what they're running with there, it is 1,767% from its bottom where we just had support to that top range. So given the scenario where history repeats itself, Ali expects ADA to rise up to that level. A price run to $8 from its current price represents a 1,233%. So at the time of writing, ADA was up 1.87%. So if you are an ADA holder and you got Cardano in your bags, you're probably looking very happy at all of this ADA news, and you should be. You should be pleased. That is a good thing. That is the news for today, guys. Reminder, that is brought to you by Decrypted Tax. Get a trusted tax professional. Call Ernest. Let them know. You'll get a free consultation, 25% off. Just tell them the alumni sent you. Back to the group now. Let's go. That is my duo cam. How about a quad cam? All right, we got a little new news set up there, so that you guys don't have to like stare at the camera the whole time I'm reading. What do you guys think? You like that? TradeFly, you got some news for us, bro?
I do got some news.
All right, let's jump over to your chart, and you can continue the news on here, and then we'll get into the charts.
See, I got you. Cinnamon butter is the best. I don't care what you say, Mr. J. Cinnamon butter is the best. All right.
That is hot. That is some hot news right there. That is some hot buttery news right there from Mr. J.
Piper didn't even know I was going to do that to him. I got to be honest with you.
I didn't know. I pulled it up. I was like, this is not news, but that looks delicious. So,
hey, one in the chat if you like that cinnamon butter. All right, seriously, let's get to some real stuff here. All right, gold ETFs bleed 2.4 billion so far in 2024. So, thinking, man, if you guys really believed in the Bitcoin ETF, you kind of knew that was going to pop. Obviously, gold ETFs are going to take a little hit because Bitcoin ETFs are supposed to be the new digital gold, right? So you might have been able to take advantage of that. I'll be honest, I wasn't even thinking about it, but now we're getting some poor economic data. So what does that mean? You're going to see that transition back to probably gold and some of those more tangible assets. But just want to point that out. You can see, hey, the Bitcoin ETF, it was real. People really did take to it. We obviously knew the inflows because we've been talking about it, but here it is. You can see there's always got to be that inverse correlation somewhere. Money's got to move. And where did it move from? And move out of some of the gold ETFs.
And I'm okay with that. I am perfectly fine with that moving out of gold over into my into Bitcoin and all of that being bought up. My concern is how much of it is being bought up by BlackRock. Bitcoin is very quickly becoming the most centralized, massive wallet held crypto in the space.
So I don't know if you remember it, but like one of the first times that I got on a space with you and Tim and T Shroom, there was only a few of us on there. It was probably like 6 or 7 people. And that was the thing that I said I was concerned with, is that we are taking something that's supposed to be decentralized and we are now turning it into something that is very centralized. Now, it's the good news is you kind of need that if you really are investing and you want to see that price take off. Now, if you leave it to what it was supposed to be, that's not really how it was developed. That's not what the intent was, is for it to be a massive investment. It was really to be a transactional, asset. So, that was my concern. I think it's coming to fruition, honestly, because as it is more centralized, then that means they're going to dictate how things kind of move. They're going to be able to move the market as like that true whale, the institutions. So that's kind of my concern with it, but is what it is. I like to trade, I like to invest. So long story short, for me personally, it is what it is.
I was talking to Alex Fernandez yesterday from Chart Prime, because we have a lot of conversations all the time about, what's going on in the markets and stuff. He trusts my insight and, what I see. And he asks me a lot of times, hey, what are you seeing? What's going on? So looking at it from the fundamental side, I was talking to him. I said, look, here's the deal. Like, we're going to go into supply shock. There's going to get to a point that there's no Bitcoin available for people to buy up. And when BlackRock has more people standing at the door banging what an ETF, they're going to have to get more Bitcoin. If that Bitcoin is too astronomically priced because of supply shock, don't you think that a company like BlackRock has the ability to go, you know what? I'm going to get this price down a little bit before I buy some more of this up. Let me get some people to sell it off so I can get it for cheaper, and then I'll sell it over to the people that need it. And I think that's a very possible thing. And it happens all the time. You see stock markets like MicroStrategies just sold off a bunch of their shares. It's completely legit for them to do. I don't see a scenario where BlackRock doesn't do what every single corporation out there does and sells off to create that vacuum of downward pressure so that they can get shakeout to buy more crypto. Because if there's only one Bitcoin left, right? And I go, I've got this Bitcoin right here. I'm selling it. Crypto Millie wants some Bitcoin and TradeFly wants some Bitcoin, but TradeFly has already got like $9 billion worth of it. Who's going to get this? Crypto Millie buying this and squeezing that price a little bit higher, or TradeFly who's going to go, you know what? I don't need your one Bitcoin. I'll just sell off this 5,000 over here. When everyone sells it, and when it drops the price, then I'll buy that much cheaper. And that's a price everyone out is what is going to happen there. So that is my concern with what's going on. But yes, this is what institutional adoption looks like in crypto. So enough of that, though. Millie, man, welcome to the show, bro. My audience may not know who you are. So you're up here on the Academy alumni stage, looking out at this beautiful audience of the alumni out there in the virtual world. Tell them who you are so that they know all about Crypto Millie, and then we'll get into some questions and some charts. So
what's good, world? So as you know, Crypto Millie, I'm a crypto enthusiast. I like to be called enthusiast opposed to influencer. But I'm just, a guy that likes crypto, right? And talks about it. I talk about the things that I invest into. And for the most part, I like to put people in a position to become early movers in some of the best narratives in crypto. So crypto changed my life. It saved my life. Web3, I'm here. You know what I mean? And it's just beautiful to be part of, you know what I'm saying, people that have aligned thinking and that think the same way, man. So salute the Piper, man, and TradeFly and OC guy, man. I'm loving the show. I like how it looks, man. It's y'all lit. Y'all lit. I'm loving it.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that, bro. Big love. Get you some of those the little
breaking out the
emojis
hearts.
there.
Breaking
There
out the
we go.
hearts. There it
There we go.
is.
There we
There we
go.
Get those hearts going out there for you.
Look,
No, I appreciate it, man. And, guys, I've got Millie's, all of his links down below for his X, for his YouTube. It's all in the description. Guys, go down there, give him a follow. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look into the charts today just to show everybody what's going on in the charts. And then, Millie, we'll come back and ask some questions. And if you got some charts that you want to show and some projects you want to show, we'll do that. But I'm going to show Bitcoin first real fast just so we can get these people fed their daily knowledge of where we're at on charts. Guys, taking a look at the Dixie right now, you can see we are bouncing up off a trend line here right now, getting that pump this morning. We did get a little pullback wick, but it looks like overall, based on the futures markets right now, that we are going to probably, they're predicting that this is kind of bearish for the markets. Everyone's going risk off in the Dixie, getting about a 70% pump there this morning of that candle, but everything else, if we take a look at the US 30 here, this is going to be your Dow Jones. Taking a look at the S&P E-mini futures and the NAS 100, everything else pulling back today. What's Bitcoin doing? It's following suit, getting a little bit of a red, but for the most part, staying in that sideways range, guys. Bitcoin does not want to drop. It is holding still right now above $52,000. So despite everything else being pulling back this morning, Bitcoin doing its thing. We do have a consolidation score of a 2 here and a prime score of a 9, which means it is still holding to a prime score upward trend and starting to get consolidation. That consolidation right now coming in right here below the upper trade band of the chart prime predictive ranges. You can see there's your top range, there's your bottom range. That has been our resistance, and it's holding tight to that, clinging. It's very clingy. It's like an old girlfriend I used to have. And it's just sitting right there above that golden pocket. So as long as we stay inside of this golden pocket range, which can go as low as $48,500, even on a pullback, I'm still bullish because that would be our golden pocket, and it's only up from there. If we take a look at the big time frame chart here, guys, we're still sitting about that median line where we were yesterday before all the PPI data came out, right there in the middle of our phase 3, up in the top half of that in the platinum pocket. So things looking very good right now for Bitcoin. We'll get into some of the other stuff, but Millie, let's go ahead and jump over to you and see what you're working with and what you're talking about. I'm sure you got your eyeballs on some stuff over there, so here we go.
Oh yeah, man. So I'm an AI guy, man. We got into AIT. That's one of the first subnets of Tau. If you guys, haven't seen Tau, it's been on a raging monster. I think we started talking about Tau around $40-50. I think it's like 670. It's up there. It's over $600 at this point. But what we've been focusing on right now is trying to have exposure to the entire Tau ecosystem. I feel like AI is going to be one of the top narratives. I would never compare AI to the metaverse, because if you know what AI is doing, it's becoming infrastructure for humans, and that alone is going to be massive. So my focus right now is just having as much exposure to the Tau ecosystem. You can see here we got into AIT at about 8 cents. It's 75 cents right now, and our latest mover that we've been invested into is a project here. We actually pull it up, which is Axon DAO. We got into this at launch, like 0.5, maybe a little bit under a penny.
Oh, wow.
At about 4 pennies now. So yeah,
Make those gains
really
on that
turning
one.
up. Yeah. We've been killing the whole Tau ecosystem, man. It's been a wonder. I think a lot of people slept on AI, because of the whole metaverse hype, and they was comparing it to the metaverse. But just look outside of crypto and look how AI is being implemented. I believe OpenChat just dropped the Soro news, where it's now text to video, which is about to be huge. Anytime you get any news from OpenChat, Sam Altman, it just literally sends the entire AI narrative. So, you want to have your eyes on the AI narrative. I'm a big gaming guy as well, but I would say gaming and AI right now for me is 1 and 2.
Nice. So that's Axon DAO, AXGI. We dropped a link there. If anyone wants to go check that out, do their own research there on CoinGecko. Shout out to Crux for handling that on the backside. But yeah, so AI, I got a question for you because, right now we're hearing a lot of chatter about the regulation coming down on the crypto miners, the Bitcoin miners, and how much energy consumption they are using up versus the product that they deliver to the world, right? No one's talking about the energy usage that's going to be used in the future for AI. And I think that it's going to be massive amount. And you're going to have, I believe that a majority of it are going to be sitting there using AI for ridiculous things like, hey, can you set up a good schedule for me to watch all of my favorite shows? Like, that's what people are going to do. Let's be honest. When you give people technology, they do the most ridiculous things with it at first, right? Until you get those brilliant minds that run in, grab it up, and go, oh, I can do the next level with this, right? Do you think that there's going to be a narrative where they look at beyond the usage of AI and the nefarious activities that can occur within the AI world and start looking at the energy usage that AI is going to take up? Do you think that's a scenario?
If I think the EU is already starting legislation for the AI laws. You're starting to see countries already prepare for AI laws because, of course, you got people that's going to do the wrong thing with AI. We're seeing it already with the whole Michael Saylor videos on YouTube.
Yep.
The whole AI making using rapper's voice like Drake and without their content. So there's going to have to be regulation for AI. But just like any bubble, you want to get in and get out. You know what I mean? I personally know that AI is extremely expensive. If you guys don't know, I'm a founder as well. I have a crypto project. And I currently, and this is a little alpha, I'm currently developing some AI tech that will allow you to make cool animated stick figure videos with prompts from ChatGPT 4. And the server prices are astronomical. And a lot of people don't look at that. And this is why it actually connects into data, cloud computing, when you got to actually store that data somewhere. So that's kind of like a secret narrative that people sleep on, but it's expensive. I even heard Alex Becker talk about it. He said he had to, kind of like move away from his AI company because the expenses to actually run AI is still very, very expensive. So, I mean, that's a niche I think somebody needs to come and really, really attack, making those expenses a little bit more efficient. But right now we're still in the early stage. It's like a baby infant, and it's a lot of gains to be made in the AI sector. But people don't realize how expensive it is to actually run those things and keep them running.
Yeah. I think the world's going to be shocked when they actually look at the energy usage of things that are not being used on a daily basis for positive global production, manufacturing and stuff from these AI companies. And so, in comparison to the attack that's going on with the Bitcoin miners right now with regulation and all of that ESG, if you will, I think it's going to be interesting to see what they do with the AI usage. Just a little bit of knowledge here, little trivia knowledge that I saw that I learned from Piano Matty B over on Around the Blockchain. 3.5% of the global power consumption total, global, the entire planet's 3.5% of all of the consumption of energy on the planet goes to pornography. There you go. So yeah, no one's talking about that. No one's, hey, this fraction over here of Bitcoin, 3.5% going over here to pornography. So, you got anything else?
So one thing on this.
Oh, I'm getting alerts galore right now.
I got a question to pose here. What do you think about the institutions, like big money, getting into these games, right? This is probably why most of them are typically successful and they continue to grow because they got the money to get into it. But when we start talking about the electricity, the consumption with miners, I don't know why I think this, but I think that institutions are going to start taking over that game also. I think it's not going to be a big deal for them to have something that's maybe even net negative when it really comes down to it, because then they can control the whole industry, right? They're controlling, price action, they're controlling the mining. And like there's companies like that, like Apple will do that. They'll do things, they'll create things at a small loss, but they know in the grand scheme of things, that's better for their company and their products as a whole, right? Because it's going to potentially drive people that way. So I don't know why I'm thinking that, but I really like, I'm just waiting for it. I feel like it's a matter of time till institutions hop in the mining game, even with AI, right? You're talking about the expense. What can big money do? They can negotiate their own pricing, right? They can talk to electric companies and say, hey, I want wholesale. All right, I'm BlackRock. You're going to give me wholesale. So wherever it costs, that's what I want. And maybe I'll throw a little, couple percent on top of it. That's not what we get as retail, right? We get that like 70 to 80% bump so that they're making their profit, right? So I don't know. It's
Facts.
something I've been thinking about, and something really I'd say keep an eye on that.
Plus that slippage. We get that too.
Yeah, we get it all.
All right, let's get into the charts. OC, I'm gonna throw you up first because I already saw that you said we're breaking some trend lines, so you obviously got your eyeballs on something. Let's get into some TA here.
Absolutely. So let me just mute myself because it seems I have my own feedback. Here we go. Perfect. Now I can speak without getting my feedback here. All right. So basically, we're breaking through near. Let's take a look at where did we set up that alert. Remember that we set this alert right here on this trend line going on near. Let it just load. Here we go. And we're just crossing the trend line. It was created on February the 13th, so 3 days ago. And we're finally breaking through, or at least making a fake out through it. So that's what I'm saying. Keep a heads up on this one because right now we're still above the zero line on the oscillator. Remember that back down here, I was expecting the same thing, either bounce or break. And depending on that one, it would have been either long or short, where to the dynamic reactor. And this time it is exactly the same. So the only thing that I'm going to be changing is going to be the prediction or the forecast of my analysis right here. So this is exactly what I'm going to be doing. And just getting rid of that one because that's extra. And right here, I also be looking for an FOR, flip of the ribbon, or a breakthrough to the zero line and then continuing to the downside. So heads up on that one. This is near on the 4 hour, basically breaking through that trend line. Still strong, still on the bullish side, all right? But it's not denial that we are going through that one. So just be careful. Next area to be looking at 3.11. And let me just bring up my order blocks or even my support and resistances. Because when we get to the dynamic reactor, we could easily be wicking down there. And just so you also notice, I do have an alert set up right here in case we wick at 3.055. So those are the areas that I'm looking for. And then, yeah, trade to you guys.
Awesome. TradeFly, what you got for us, brother?
Right on. Captain Jack MATIC. Let's go ahead and take a look-see at that. All right, so MATIC on the daily. All right, looking at this horizontal level of resistance, you can see just coming back here, support, resistance. I like pointing those out to you guys, resistance, support. So that's a clear area of price action that we got to keep our eye on. All right, so looking at that, we came up. Now we get negative news in correlation with getting up to a resistance level. I would say this one was a pretty easy kill, right? You could look at this one and say, hey, we were probably going to see a rejection in correlation with the news. And that's why we always bring you the news, because you got to take that into account when you're looking at the charts, right? Things are going to line up sometimes, and that makes it a lot easier for you to get into a trade. So where are we coming? Well, we're going to come back down here. You see this blue line here that I have. You see that how it was resistance, and looking in this area, it closed. There you go. You got a little support and a little resistance right there as well, right? So there, you're just seeing it hit over and over again. So it's probably going to pull back to that area. I'm going to make an assumption based on the news here. And if you come down to the prime oscillator, you're looking at it, you can see that it looks like it kind of wants to reverse the trend. All right, we were getting kind of high up there. We didn't quite get into the overbought, but again, everything's kind of lining up. You're seeing a little bit of that confluence between different indicators and things that you're seeing on the chart, the news. All right, so I'm looking at a little bit of a pullback here. If we do continue to pull back, I would say, the blue line will probably flirt with that. But if everything else continues to pull back, keep an eye on Bitcoin. That's daddy. If it keeps pulling back, I'm really going to be concentrating more on this kind of 83-cent region. And it's just the same thing, right? You're just looking and seeing where we're finding support and resistance when you go back left on the chart. So that's kind of my eyes, or where I'm keeping my eyes right now. I'm looking at 83-cent area. What we want to do, we want to see the RSI come down, and then kind of bend back up. So if everything kind of finds support, again, watch Bitcoin. If it's finding support, I would anticipate MATIC finding some support kind of in a similar area. But look, you got a lot of confluence here too, right? You got the 50-day, the 100-day, the 20, all kind of lining up with this area right here. And I would expect that the dynamic reactor kind of ekes its way up as it continues to kind of pull to the right. So keep eye on that area. 83 cents is a target area. I would set some alerts, and then obviously you're going to find resistance here in this area because it's pretty prominent. So that area there is about 95 cents. I don't see us flirting with that unless Bitcoin magically turns back up in the direction. But negative news, not looking for that.
Awesome. Yeah, that's good stuff. Crypto, Millie, do you have anything on the chart you want to show? You want me to go ahead and come back to you?
Y'all go ahead and do your thing, man. Y'all the chart avance here, man.
We got you. We got you. I know you do some TA sometimes, so I just wanted to offer it over to you. But yeah,
hey, not on this level. Not on this level.
All right, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and throw on the link hat here to get some chain link in, guys. Looking at chain link right now, I'm looking here at there. But hey, welcome back there, chart. I'm looking here at this blue trend line that we have here running up, and you can see we got this pullback right here off the blue line. I called this out over in our Discord group in our community, and people were keep an eye on that closely. It got its rejection down there. I need to move some stuff off my chart. All my stuff shifted on me. I don't know what happened. It was really weird. But anyway, let me get into this. Evidently, it said, no, I want Millie to do TA. Get off of here. And it like kicked all my stuff off my screen to the other screen. So strange. And my comments all popping up. Here we go. Now, we talked about this range in here on the rejection in our Discord community, guys. And I said, watch it. We're hitting this resistance. Downside target on this, and I threw my green T box on here for that target box range. The reason for that is coming right in line there with some Fibonacci, the dynamic reactor coming in from Chart Prime. So if we go ahead and we take a look at what we're seeing now, once we throw this on, some key things just happened. Actually, let's not put that one on yet. Let's do the fixed range volume profile here and show you guys what's happening here currently with it right now, because this is kind of important. We are losing the value area high. Sitting at the top right now, this level coming in at about $19.85. For those listening on the drive, on their morning drive to the fiat mine, that's where that value area high is at. Typically, when we break the value area high, we come down to the point of control. Point of control for this whole range right here of this this sideways motion that was going on with Chainlink is going to be coming in right now here at about $18.23. And so that is a target that I'm looking at here, which falls right in the middle of this T box. Also, it's going to be sitting right above that dynamic reactor. But when we throw on some other confluence searches here and we put on the Fibonacci retracements, you'll see that our platinum pocket is falling right in the middle of this box also. We do have golden pocket coming in at about $19.10 on the top side, $18.98 on the bottom side there. That's these two gold lines of the Fibonacci. But I'm watching for this box to get hit down here, especially the 786. And then the dynamic reactor coming in. But we have to assume, like I said, if we lose the value area high, then we're going to head to that point of control. So that would be coming in right now about $18.23. So maybe a wick down to that point of control, pull back up, candle close with a 4-hour in the platinum pocket before it goes back up to the upside. Also giving us all this volume area that we had back here. You can see here on the volume profile of here on the side, lots and lots of entries all hitting inside of that green box area. So this green box target based on the Fibonacci's and on the dynamic reactor, throw the fixed range volume profile on it, massively falls right in the middle of that target box. So that's what I'd be looking at there for a long on Chainlink, getting that moved back up to the upside of that. If it does not hold in that platinum pocket and we don't wick off of that point of control back up, then guys, we would be heading to the downside. Max target on this sitting at about $17.58. Let's take a look real fast at the oscillators, see what we're seeing here. Oscillators giving us indication of downside. Also, we're getting a widening of that ribbon on the Oscillator Pro, and we are not even close to hitting that bull zones yet. So plenty of move to the downside to happen here. RSI cooling off, still not at that 30% yet. We can get quite a ways below that 30% line, get all the way down to the 14s and 15s on big sell-off. So Plenty of room for Chainlink to go. Be watching for those ranges that I gave you if you want to get into a long. Remember to use your stop loss, not financial advice, but that's what I got there. Let's kick it back over to OC, see what you got, OC. And we also had a request for ICP. I saw that. We'll get into that one.
Absolutely. I want to touch base on the two things. One is BONK. I grabbed myself a little bit of BONK yesterday, nothing too major, just throwing a little bit of money there. I was doing an analysis on the 15-minute. It broke through that. I hit and show the lines that I'm going to be having there. So that's what I'm going to be using as a dead cat bounce and updating those head and shoulders. We just had a strong sell in a change of character right here, in a continuation of that bearish change of character with a break of structure. So the next support zone on the 15 minutes will be somewhere around too many zeros, 1262, right down there on the chart at previous ranging areas. Another one that is just broke very quickly, and this is one of the ones that I am most interested at, it is Solana. Solana, I was looking for this area of support. Let me just bring it up, my alerts. There we go. It was set up on February the 13th. So what is it just hitting right now and not while breaking this one? Well, when it broke this one, basically I just was looking for maybe a breakout retest, and off we go. I did not have the retest, and that's fine. I'm not planning to short Solana at this moment, but right now we're getting very close to where we have big confluence down here with this two supports on one area. That's what my alarm is setting off. So I want to see if I can bounce off the zero line, which at this point is already too late. So what I'm going to be looking at is going to be the next reaction area, which is going to be after we have flip of the ribbon on support, and the next big support area, it is the dynamic reactor. So I want to pull up the prime area side at this point, and I'm going to be also looking where we start making smaller candles, tiny candles, or tiny body candles, to start looking for possible entries for an extra confluence area. But so far, it seems that we're still going strong on that downwards movement. The only thing that I'm not liking, or that I want to be looking at, is if I use this point or this pivot and I draw a line right there, I'm also crossing that trend line right there. And it seems like this is not going to be just a fake out. It seems like this is going to be a breakthrough, maybe going for a retest and a possible opportunity to go to the dynamic reactor. Not financial advice, but this is what I'm looking at right now, getting ready to take some action on the charts, especially on Sol.
Nice. Awesome. TradeFly, what you got for us, man?
All right, I saw render in the chat, so I got that up on the daily. So you can see right now we did get a rejection here in the area of about 5.7. And again, that's correlating with Bitcoin news, yada, yada, yada. I'm not going to keep repeating that. But what you want to see is right here in this area of about, we'll call it 5.2. You're going to want to see if it finds some support here. That's going to be your confirmation that you may see continuation of the upside. So you want to see some horizontal movement, maybe a little bit of consolidation. Here's the concerns though. When you come back down and you look at the chart here, or the prime oscillator really, you're seeing you're getting into overbought, right? So we're overbought on the daily, which means that that's pretty strong. A lot of the negativity going on right now. So I would expect probably a little bit of a pullback. That's just my personal gut feeling here. That's what I'm looking at. And so let's look at some target areas if it does actually pull back. All right. So you have one here at the 382. That's about $4.86. You see resistance right here. You can see where it was resistance multiple times before it did have a little fake out, come back down, retest it again, and then it confirmed that, yeah, this is resistance, and then it went down, right? So you see multiple areas of touch. Didn't really have a close over top of it except for here and here. So multiple areas. So that's going to be an area that I'd keep an eye on to find some support if we do continue that pullback. And then see my green line right here? All right, my green line right here is the one that's most prominent to me. All right,
what's
so
that
green line, what's up? About $4.28. All right, so that area right there is probably my most prominent area if I'm looking at horizontal resistance and support. And that goes back on the charts. Just go back to the left and look at it. But look what it lines up with, right? So I did that. I drew this line before I actually brought up the Fibonacci retracement tool. Once I brought that up, it was like further confirmation. That's the golden pocket. Now, so that's really the area, like that's where I'm going to keep my eye mostly. So at about, I'd say 4.3 to 4.25 or so, that's an area that I'm really going to concentrate on. The oscillator right here is going to tell you that it's due for a pullback. All right, we've had a nice move up. Take a little measurement of that from here to here. And I mean, what's that? I'm gonna have to go under. So it's about 50%, just over 50%. So it's a nice move up. You know, I would expect a little bit of a cool off. High side target though. Let's say things just go to the moon, Bitcoin breaks through everything, doesn't follow the narrative. You're looking at 6.6. Why do I say that? I go back left on the chart, right? How else are we going to do it besides looking at volume and previous areas of resistance? So 6.6 is like the high side right now sentiment. I'm looking at a pullback personally on most things on the chart just because we're finding resistance at the same level for a lot of the altcoins. So remember, when I was going through the altcoins, probably, I think it was a couple weeks ago, I was like, hey, we keep seeing the same thing over and over again. We're pulling back, we're testing that golden pocket area. And then that's where everything found support and started to kind of move up and right. Well, you're seeing a similar thing on the charts now. Bitcoin's aligning with it. We're at a pretty significant area of resistance that not a lot of people are talking about. That area of about 52.45. There's an area there. Take it, you know, plus or minus 500. We'll say there's an area there of significant resistance. Go back and look at the charts. And now we're seeing a lot of the other coins kind of line up in a similar area of resistance. So that kind of feeds the narrative that I will be looking for a little bit of a pullback on most of the altcoins right now, just given sentiment.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what I'm seeing on a lot of charts. I got some questions from the audience for Crypto Millie. We're going to get into those in 1 second, but I want to jump over here and do a request that we had for ICP. So I had this trade set up in ICP in the Discord, in our Discord membership community part for trade setups, and I had this target being this white line right here. That's this white arrow. I gave that entry at the 0.5 and said, look, if we hit this, you know, take profit 1, take profit 2, right there, and then take profit 3. Well, it hit all the take profits despite coming 3 cents short from hitting my entry. So, guys, if you are still looking at that trade setup, I hope you turned that off once I told you guys it did not play, because right now we are breaking that initial entry and heading to the downside. That rejection coming in hot right now, breaking below the dynamic reactor on the hourly. If we take a look at the 4-hour here, you'll see we're losing that 50% line, which means if we do look here, we do have sort of a trend line coming in right in here. We're breaking that. Also, I'm going to assume that $12.63 is going to be a target for us for support range. And then we're going to stretch that down using a little T-box action here. Shout out to Tim Warren, TA Tim over there on Investing Bros. Love his T-boxes. They're great. That's going to be the support range that I'm looking at. And that's going to be your 382 coming in at $12.24. Upside of that being the dynamic reactor. Keep an eye on the oscillator today, guys. This is going to be your telltale. We're breaking the 50% here on the RSI Prime. Our oscillator our oscillator ribbon here breaking down right now at that 50% line. That's that yellow line coming across there. If we do not get any bounce on here, this is likely going to be coming all the way down into the bullish zone at the bottom. If we do get a bounce here, we're likely going to be getting that zero line bounce, and you can see a lot of times we do get those zero line plays. So that's what I'm watching for ICP there. Shout out to a member that asked for that. But let's go over here. Let's get into the quad cam, because I got some questions for Millie before we get them off of here, and then we got some from the audience. The most important one, Millie, came in from Dave Digital, and he said, Crypto Millie, do you follow Randy Hipper, aka Miss Teen Crypto?
yeah, man. I try to tap into, you know, a few of the female influencers out there, man. I do. Her, Crypto Wendy, a couple of Lady of Crypto. You know, it's a couple out there that I follow.
Yep. Well, the reason he's asking is because today is Randy's birthday, and she's having a birthday bash on air right after this. So we'll have to go raid her chat over there and wish her a happy birthday. So shout out to Randy Hipper and happy birthday to the youngest, most vibrant queen of crypto out there. So the other question that we had was, and this came in from Henry Wallace, one of our senior members here, senior students here at the Piper Academy. He said, Millie, what do you think about MXM?
MXN, let me check that. I haven't heard of that one yet.
All right. So while you look at that and figure that one out, if you don't know anything on it, might be one of those things that you have to go dig in on and give an update. And then Henry, you'll
I
have to
don't want
go.
to give an update.
Right. And then Henry will have to go over and see Crypto Millie's channel and subscribe so that he can get that MXM update from him over there. So there you go.
I got a question for you, Piper. I got a question for you guys, man, because you guys is killing the charts, man. I want to see some BTC weekly charts, man. I want to know if we're gonna have that post with that pre-halving correction. You know what I mean? Like history says, or are we going up because of the spot ETFs, man? I want some weekly BTC technical analysis.
We have to have that that correction because that's the trigger for the upside movement. So my community has seen this chart a lot, but this is my weekly chart that I track everything on Bitcoin. I showed my members how to build this themselves, and what this is the entire history of Bitcoin running on a Fibonacci channel. Okay. If you go back and you look at previous cycles, you've got 3 phases that occur. Your phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. You'll see that post halving or around that halving, we always come in and test that 0.66 golden pocket before the parabolic run. Up in that platinum pocket, right? Hold back to the golden pocket, test it, close the candle above that 0.66, up we go. Go to the next cycle here. Don't draw on your charts. We had a move into phase 3. We actually fell back into phase 2 and then went back into phase 3 post halving. What happened when we got there? We went into phase 3, came back, retested that 0.66 before the run up, right? Well, let's take a look at where we are right now. By the way, guys, there's your massive sell-off today. That's right there. It's still that little teeny tiny candle. So that's why it's nice to zoom out sometimes and look at these weekly so you don't have to stress. Right now, we are coming up on the halving right there, approximately April 8th, April 9th in that window. I believe that we have to come back and test the 0.66 here before we get to the 786 because we've never broken this line. You'll see every time we come in on it, we move up, right? So we come in here, we do this a little bit in here, we come back, we hit that 0.66 before the run up post halving. So yeah, I expect for it to do that. It needs to do that. If it doesn't do that, then we can count this as an early 0.66 touch, and that would be fine. It just it would happen a lot sooner than the halving, but we've also come closer to all-time highs much sooner this cycle than we have in previous cycles also. So it's very possible that that was the 0.66 touch. But if it comes back to that, I'm watching for that at $41,000 is that 0.66 range. So there we go for that. Millie, since you asked my question, you asked me a question, I'm going to ask you another one. I'm coming back with more questions for you. So you talk a lot about BONK and Myro and Pepe and Snake in the past, right? You follow those meme tokens hard because you like fast, hard movers. That's what you do. That is your realm. That's your wheelhouse, right? Which one of those, BONK, Myro, Pepe, Snake, or is there something else that you think becomes victorious in this cycle as the best gainer?
Well, the narratives change, man. I mean, Elon Musk can send a spaceship into space and somebody will create a meme coin called Doge One if it's not already out there. So,
right. There is now. I guarantee you, Doge One won't be hot today.
Talk to me. But I pay attention to narratives. I got a few indicators that are used through AI technology that tracks algorithms of volumes and experienced buyers. So those are type of things that I look for. As far as those meme coins that you just talked about, I really like what Myro is doing. You feel me? Myro is on one of the strongest chains right now, which is Solano. They went through their whole stage in their chart where they sold off for marketing, listings, all this extra stuff that costs money, right? But now they're at the point where they're building, right? They're literally building a SocialFi app on the Solana phone. And they just partnered with a rapper, DDG. You feel me? So for a small meme coin to make those type of milestones, I think that Sol is going to set up a lot of those Sol meme coins to go parabolic. Of course, you got to be careful because 99% of them are rugs. I also I'm a big Pauly fan, man. I think Pauly, he's lit, man, and anything that he touches turns gold. So I'm a big fan of what's that? Pork I don't know about the whole Pepe thing. I think Pepe lost a little bit of its touch, but hey, Donald Trump, he's another person that controls narratives. If you know the story behind Pepe, if Trump gets elected, Pepe's going to send Trump token. That's another meme coin.
Trump
That's literally
2024 token. Yes, that token is insane.
yeah. He's they literally sent like $1 million worth of Trump token. It's the #1 token in Trump's wallet right now, and it's a sender, right? My boys in the Discord got into it at 29 cents. That thing sent to well over $2, right? And then I would look also because I've talked to I don't want to talk about that one, but it's another couple tokens in that Trump narrative that I think have potential, but I want to watch them a little bit more. As far as the blue chip tokens, I would focus on stuff that nobody's talking about right now. The OGs in 2021, Floki, Dojalon Mars, Baby Doge. These are ones, if you look at the charts, they got Adam and Eve pattern set up. They got double bottom set up. They got cup and handle set up and ready to explode. We just need to get into the altcoin season. So there's going to be some senders in the meme coin sector. I think if you have exposure to meme coins, keep it limited, but try to find those ones that's in the hottest narratives.
Nice.
So here's something for you.
Input there. Go ahead, TradeFly.
Quick question. So when you're looking at some of these coins, do you really pay attention to the charts? Are you looking more at a weekly setup, or is it just based on fundamentals for you?
Now, it just depends on what I'm looking into. So, for instance, if I'm doing gambling, if I'm heading into the casino, I'm pulling up Dex tools. I'm on Sol. I'm looking at first movers that just get launched. I like to see tokens that immediate pay for their socials updated. That shows me that you're serious, that you got a bag, that you probably got some things going on where people in the industry. I look for VCs, heavy VC backed meme coins. I like what Gotbit is doing. Anything Gotbit touches usually turns gold. You just got to know when to time it. And if you know about Solana, it's a heavily influenced VC chain. So I look at those things as well. As far as weekly charts, I pay attention to Doge, because when you look at Doge for the weekly, it kind of sets up the rest of the momentum for the other dog coins. I think we talked about Doge a few days ago. It started to send, but just look at all the patterns. They all look the same. They're literally putting in a double bottom. They're putting in that handle, and they correcting to the next move to the upside. So yeah, as far as older tokens, I like to look at the weekly charts.
Yeah, I love looking at weekly charts, man. That's you want to get the true picture of what's going on here. Go look at a weekly chart. That's where the action really is. That's where you can get those huge moves. Look, definitive trend line here. It's bouncing on it, right? Shout out to T-Shroom. T-Shroom's in the house. He's a great guest on today. So T-Shroom over there from Investing Bros. Big shout out to him in the chat right now. Millie, one more question for you here. So I heard you talking about the, Solana and so on and so forth. And you talk about large caps a lot too. You're not just meme and alts. You're pretty plugged in to the crypto space in general. So you talk about Solana, Algorand, and other projects, but of the projects in the top 15, which ones do you prefer? Not counting stable coins.
No problem. I'm a big fan of Hedera. I'm a Hedera guy. You feel me? I love what they're doing as far as the institutional interest. I mean, they got the PayPal of Australia literally sits at the council. Google, some of the tech giants sit at the council. So when you think about the liquidity cycles, BTC will pump, ETH will pump, and then a lot of those top 10, top 50 tokens, they'll get the institutional looks further. But I'm big on tracking hot chains, and I've been telling my Patreon and also my Discord about just finding dexes, the top dexes on the hot chains. For instance, if you go to Near Protocol, I've seen OC pull up Near Protocol. Well, they got a dex called Try. Don't know how to pronounce the full name, but that's the first dex on Near. Look at Polkadot's first dex, Hydra DX. It's sent. Look at Hedera's first dex, Sasha Swap. It's sent. Look at Solana's first dex, Aura, Radium. They all sent. Yeah. So a cool little strategy for you guys is to pay attention to the first dex on the hottest chains. And you can even use the same strategies with the AMAs, the market makers, the liquidity pools. All of that is infrastructure for crypto. Another narrative that I'm paying attention to is DeFi on Bitcoin. So we know Bitcoin right now is looked at by the elites as a regulated asset. So these Bitcoin maxis, they're not going to go to anything else. They're going to do everything within the BTC ecosystem. So I'm looking at swaps on BTC, meme coins on BTC, DeFi on BTC. I'm really tapped into the BRC20 infrastructure. That's something I also like to follow. And then I also am big on omni-chain. If to throw one out there, Axelar is going to be huge. If you ever use Axelar
What's the
technology
ticker?
and how I didn't hear you, Pat Piper.
What's that ticker?
I don't know the ticker on it. Axelar. What's it?
I'll look it up.
I don't want to get
offhand.
Yeah. No, you're good. But what they do is they allow your token to be interchained by the one button click, right? So I have a project that's omni-chain, right? My J5 project is literally registered on 14 different chains. And what interchain allows you to do is to seamlessly move between chains in an interoperable fashion. And I believe that's the future of crypto, interoperability. So another cool narrative, if you're into chains, just pay attention to omni-chain or modular technology. I'm gonna leave one more for you. GameSwift. That's the first gaming modular blockchain. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. One of the people in chat,
he's dropping some alpha now.
that JP Morgan is using Axelar. So there you go. So it's getting that adoption that you're talking about there. So real quick, let me jump over here before we wrap this up for the day. I am looking at the Dixie right now, pulling back, guys. We are almost erasing all of that pump this morning and getting back down below this trend line. So we could see a little bit of market flip today. NVIDIA already getting a little bit of bounce off of that 0.618 there on the markets, the TradeFly side. Marathon Digital getting good bounces, TeraWolf getting good bounces. So it's a matter of time when these TradeFly ones start to move that we might see Bitcoin start to get a little pull back up. But Bitcoin right now, with that Dixie doing and what it's doing, where it pumped up, came back down, holding pretty good right there, still in that $52,000 range, just on the bottom side of it there. So I wanted to point that out before we wrap this up today. But Millie, you got anything for the people on the outro on the way out here before I drop it over to my co-host down there and we wrap this up?
Man, salute to this team, man. Army Piper, TradeFly. If I got some of the people from my community in here, man, make sure you guys go follow them. I do appreciate being on the show. To the Army Piper community, man, feel free to drop in. We got a community rewards token. It's a Lori T token called J5, Johnny 5. It's a meme coin tailored around the cool movie back in the day called Short Circuit. And I'm doing wonderful things with my project as far as building. And it's just wonderful. I don't want to shill it too much. I just want you guys to go do your research on it. And yeah, man, I'm on that little dev side now. So I'm learning so much new things on that aspect of crypto. And I would just tell anybody, man, just be a sponge, stay green so you can grow. Crypto is a galaxy. You can literally learn something new every single day. So as long as you apply yourself, the sky is the limit. It's not a race. You know, the race is not given to the swift or the strong, but the one that can endure. Learn at your own pace. Be safe. Double check your links, because the biggest thing about crypto is perseverance. You know, perseverance of your liquidity. You don't want to mess this up, because this could be possibly the greatest bull run in altcoin season of all time. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
Facts, bro. Preach, Millie. Great having you on today, man. TradeFly OC, you got anything for the people on the way out, man?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Hey, it's great having you on, man. Great getting to know you. Hopefully we can catch up, do some more content together. That'd be dope. Big fan of Short Circuit, man. Johnny 5. That goes back to my heart, dude. I grew up during that time. So yeah. Hey, another thing, shout out to those that were in Discord last night. I was mixing up with Mr. J, Eric Wallen, Blackie Chan. We were all in there kind of having a little bit of laugh. That's what stemmed the whole cinnamon butter conversation there. So just wanted to point that out. Get in there. We're active. We're mixing it up with you guys. And it's a lot of fun. So that being said, I'm going to turn it over to OC. I think he's that way.
Yeah, he's that way. What you got?
So thank you guys so much, Crypto Millie. Thank you so much for that alpha. I'm actually very interested in seeing. I'm going to be doing some heavy research on those tickets that you throw to us. Thank you so much for that. Guys, thank you so much also for participating and being today on the class. I do see pullbacks, so I will also be looking in that area for big supports. And throwing to you, Piper, just guys, stay safe.
Awesome. Hey, guys, thanks for joining us today on Piper Academy. Don't forget, follow Crypto Millie. Links down below. He's got some great stuff. Let's move some alumni over there into his community and show him some love and support, too. But, guys, it's Friday. We got the weekend coming. You know that volume gets low and that market can move quickly on the weekends. Be careful out there this weekend if you're trading. And if you are trading, trade safe. And if you do trade, for God's sake, for all that's holy, as Lunar Beach Crypto would say, use a stop loss. We'll be back next Monday morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll catch you guys then.
We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after wheels fall low. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. TradeFly, get the soul train ready. What a line from OCI, form a Mexican spaghetti, yo. Crunch crypto with a deep dive to reject dime. And if you like the visual powered by Car Prime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have step, fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after wheels fall low. Sound off.
To get rhythm, the ZTS rhythm. Rip it, Alexandra.
Yeah, that's my alumni, you know what I mean?
That was awesome, dude.